All right, so we're going over these last two problems, but if you've got this one, I've got a base here that I could figure out length times width times the height, but what's different about this one? Nobody can see what's different about this one? If I have a regular, yeah, it's not a whole rectangular prism. It is half. It's half of that. So we're just looking for this half in here. And in fact, that's why they divided it by 2. So we're looking for base times height divided by 2. Or it could be 1/2, depending upon how our numbers are, and it's probably better this one. Is, again, and the shape of this base is a rectangle, so it's going to be length times width. You trade your big B in for the formula for your base area, and then times the height of the whole prism. So, do you have the dimensions of your base? Yeah, x times x plus 9. So the first thing, I'll go with both of them and see which one's easier. 1/2, and this is going to be the length is x times x plus 9 times the height, and the height is 2x plus 4. And this would have come out the same way with the 2 on the bottom, so it really doesn't matter. So we just have to multiply these. Now the first one is easy. X times x is what? X squared. So I'm going to put my x squared here. And then x times the 9 is, CJ, what's x times 9? Is 9x. And it's positive. So here, all of this together, I put together here. And then I'm going to multiply it by the 2x plus 4. And then we're going to multiply the whole thing. So Anthony, what's this square going to be?
2
Very good, 2x cubed. And Morel, what's this square going to be?
18x.
18x to the second. And Erica, tell me these two. They're easy. And 36x. And so that's it. So this is going to be all of that divided by 2. So we'll pull it out. It's going to be, oh, this is interesting. This actually has something with that we're doing today. So this is going to be 2x to the third, collect the same sign, and then it's going to be 22 plus 22x squared plus 36x. And this actually relates to what we're doing today, because it's not completely done. Because I think I just gave you one that you are dividing polynomials. Where did I put it? Yeah, you're dividing a polynomial by a monomial. And that actually relates to this. So this is the same thing. You don't need to write it all over, where I'm taking this and I'm dividing it by 2 on all of them. In fact, if I did a long division, we're going to do long division on Monday, not today, because it would hurt your brain. But you need to know how to do it, long division. But again, we're not going to do it. It's as if I'm dividing it by 2. I divide this by 2, plus I divide that by 2. In fact, we can kind of do it long. No, I don't want to do long division. But you're dividing each of them. So I'm just going to separate this on this one like this, because all of those terms up here are all divisible by 2. So the first one, what is that going to be when we simplify it? X cubed. The second one is going to be, oh, hold on, I made a mistake right here. This should be 22 when I collected those. So this one's going to be 22 divided by 2 is 11x squared. And then the last one's going to be 18x. And that is it. So that is the volume of that right, I think it's called a right triangular prism. Okay. Then we're done with that, and I'll come around and look at those in just a few minutes. Then we're going to go to this one that I just gave you. And I don't have an answer bank, so I'm going to have to probably just run off the answer. And again, we're not going to do too many because it's just been that kind of day. Okay, so all right, here we go. So I'm going to move this. Alrighty. So this is dividing a polynomial, a many-termed nomial, by a singular term, by a monomial. And just like I said before, it's as if I'm dividing each of these terms by that 5y. This one by 5y and this one by 5y. So this is a good example that you can go to later. In fact, we'll kind of peek at it right now. No, we won't. Let's just go right to what we need to do. So let's take a couple of these first two. So I'm not going to rewrite that whole entire thing, but when I'm dividing, I'm just going to make it as a fraction. So this is divided by negative 5b cubed. And I think it'll help you if you at least do that. Oh, there's a 5. Okay. So let's start with the number. Positive divided by negative is a negative. 40 divided by 5 is going to be 8. And then you've got 9 b's up here, 3 b's on the bottom. If you use your subtraction method, who knows what it's going to be? B to the 6. You guys are good. All right. Then same thing over here. I'm just going to move it. Like some you guys are smart that I probably don't need to move it to the bottom. Can you do it without moving it to the bottom? Okay. So this one, 6 divided by 3 is 2. X squared divided by 1x is just going to be x. 4x's take away 2 is going to be y to the second. I might have said x. Okay. Then I can't tell what that one is. Alrighty. Then on this one, oh my goodness, what is that going to be? 1, 2, 3. I'm thinking it's going to be 4. Yeah, because 50 times 4 is 200. 9 times 4 is 36. Everybody see that? Again, 50 times 4 is 200. 9 times 4 is 36. So it's going to go 4 times. So negative divided by a positive is a negative. 236 divided by 59 is 4. Okay, and this is why I said I usually set it up like this. I'm not going to worry about the number now, but because sometimes you can see it better. P to the 3rd, Q to the 7th, R to the 9th. So I'm going to cross this off. Because then you have this situation where I have to make a fraction because I've got more P's on the bottom in the denominator. So who knows how, I'm going to start this over. I'm going to put 4 over, it's going to be P to the what and where? Very good. It's going to be P to the 2nd on the bottom. And then we go to the Q's, Q to the 4th on the top, Q to the 7th on the bottom. Where are there going to be more Q's? Where are we going to put it and how many are there? On the bottom. You can also subtract. Again, it would be 4 minus a 7, which would be a negative 3, but then it would have to go to the bottom anyway to get it out of the negative exponent. And then R to the 11th on top, R to the 9th on the bottom. What is that going to be? On the top. Okay, and that's it. And then, oh, these don't look fun. These don't look fun. We're gonna make it. Trust me, we're gonna make it easy. Except I don't like those. Oh, all right. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna at least the 2 I'll leave alone, but the x. Oh, I've been getting spammers all day long. All right, is x squared y, x squared y, x squared y. Okay, so I'm going to at least do that, and then we'll do the 2 separately. So 4 divided by a negative 2 is a negative is a negative 2. And then on this one, what happens? We had 4x on the top divided by x squared. What is that going to be? X squared on the top. And this y is going to end up being where? On the bottom. And then we have minus, again, negative divided by negative is a positive. And then the 12 divided by 2 is 6. And then what's going to happen with the x's? It's going to be x to the what? Just a single x. And I've got y to the second on the top, y on the bottom. What is that going to become? Yeah, just y on the top. And then on this one looks kind of weird, but that is the way it comes out. All right. And then this one is a negative divided by negative is a positive. And then I've got my x's, those cancel out, I think. And what happens with the y's? They also cancel. So it's just 10 divided by 2 is 5. I don't like this. This is too much for my head today. Can we skip number 11? You got the idea, right? You have the idea what to do? Alrighty. All right, so who has an idea on 15? What would you do first? I think we've done something like this before. Nobody has an idea what to do with that negative 13? Somebody say it again? Yeah, you multiply it by each of these exponents. And sometimes if it's negative, I flip it, but no, because when we multiply it, it's going to make it a positive. So this one's going to become D 5 times 13 is that 65? D 65 over, and by the way, it's positive, and negative 8 times negative is a positive. 8 times 13 is going to be what? 80 and 24. Is it 104? Help me out, somebody. I think it's 104. And that's all you do. All right. So easy peasy on that one. But look at this next one. Do you think that you want to go 36 times 36 times 36 times 36? No. Who thinks they can see something that you can do inside the parentheses first? Simplify right here in front. So negative divided by negative is a, and in fact I'll start it here, is a positive. And 36 divided by 6 is what? 6, so positive 6. So I'll keep it on the top right now. And then who remembers if this is a negative 8 exponent, is it in the right spot? No, where does it belong? On the top. Is that a t? I can't tell anymore. Okay, so t to the positive 8. And that v to the negative 5 is going to go where? On the bottom. As a positive. And then we have to multiply it by the exponent. And I really don't, I'm too tired to even think about 6 to the 4th power. I think it's 108 times 4. If my brain is thinking correct. I can't do it. 432 maybe, I don't know. But we're not going to do it. Okay, so this one it's going to be a 6 times 6 times 6 times 6, which is, okay, I was really off, 1096. Okay, so that times that, 6 to the 4th power is 1, 2, 9, 6. And then what is our t value? t to the 32nd over the v is going to be v to the what? V to the 9th. No, v to the what? V to the 20th. Trust me, I'm going to make it gentle. I'm going to make it easy. Okay, just as long as, have you had these before? You have had them. Okay, so we'll make it easy. I do not want to do ones with decimal. They're just a waste of time. So we'll go down to this one right here. All right. So on this one, it's a -2 exponent. Who knows where that should go? It's going to go on the bottom. And by the way, if that's a 2, so all of this is going to go on the bottom. If I do this times itself, what happens with that negative exponent? It becomes a what? A positive. Does everybody see that? Because on the bottom, it's going to be that times itself. So I'm going to put down here that it's going to be 3p to the 4th q squared to the +2. And then same thing, what happens with this one here? It's to the -2nd, so it goes where? It goes to the top for p8 q to the -3rd. Okay. And the whole thing to the -2, to the +2, because we moved it up. And then, what's that?
Would the q to the 3rd be positive?
This one here?
Yeah.
No, we didn't change a single thing in here. We bring it up just like it is because of that -2. It's ultimately going to get changed in just a few minutes. And then on here, this one's in the right spot. So it's, we can go ahead and expand this one. If I take this 3 times the 2, it's going to be p to the what? To the 6th. And this q is going to be to the 3rd. And then what happens with I'm trying to debate if I should multiply that through. Maybe I should have done that first. I don't know. You could do it either way. So I'll stick what we were doing. We'll move it to the top. And then it's going to be the -p to the -4 q to the 5th. And now it's a +3. Then what? The bottom's easy to do. We'll do the bottom. So let's go ahead and square everything on the bottom. So that's going to be a what? It's going to be a 9. P to the 4th squared is p to the 8th. Q to the 2nd squared is q to the 4th. So we're done with that. But then we need to take this here and apply it to each of these. And I'm just going to do it in a shortcut way, sort of. I'm going to take that 2, I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put it times 2. And I'm going to take this one times 2. So we can already start moving some things. So 4 squared is going to be what? 16. This p is going to be p to the what? P to the 16th. Oh, this was a horrible problem. I'm so sorry, guys. This one is going to be, okay, watch carefully. We're going to kind of do it a little bit mental. This is going to be q to the -6. So should it stay on the top? No. So it should go to the bottom as q to the +6. And then these two will list back down. P to the 6th, q to the 3rd. And we'll kind of do the same thing with this 3. I'm going to do it in red here. So I'm going to apply this 3 here. And I'm going to apply the 3 on that 5. Was this, by the way, oh yeah, this was a negative. Oh, and I have to apply that 3 to the negative. So, what's the sign of this going to be? A negative times a negative times a negative. It's going to be a negative. So I can put a negative way in front. So that's going to be a negative, the whole thing. So we're done with that. And then P, what is this going to be? To the negative 12. So should it go on top or bottom? It should go to the bottom as P to the 12. And then this one is going to be Q to the what? Q to the 15. This was a humdinger. I'm so sorry. It is what it is. And we're going to use some room down here, and if I have to redo that later, I can. Okay, so we need to collect everything on the top. So let's look at our P's first. How many P's? We've got 16, and 6 is 22 over P to the 12. P to the 8th is 20. So where are there going to be more P's left? On the top, how many? Yeah, and I'll rewrite that just so in case somebody's listening. So P to the 22nd over P to the 20th. So I'm going to just bring that answer way down here. So it's going to be negative 16P squared over the 9. So we're done with all of those P's. So we just have to look at the Q's then. So the Q's are Q to the 3rd, Q to the 15th is Q to the what? 18th over Q to the 10th. Q to the 10th. So that's going to be what? Q to the 8th on top. And that's it. And if we got the answer wrong, it's all my fault. But I'm pretty sure that's it. We did everything right. Okay, so let's go ahead and see which ones. I'm thinking just to give you 3. I'm thinking just this one, and this one. Can you handle those 3? 14, 18, and 25. Okay? And that's it, people. 14, 18, and 25. I will even get you the answer. The answer's in just a couple minutes. For those at home, I'm going to keep this recording just for a second. Find those answers. Well, I'll send it in the email that I sent.